In the United States, the Black Codes were laws passed by Southern states in 1865 and 1866 after the Civil War. These laws had the intent and the effect of restricting African Americans' freedom and of compelling them to work in a labor economy based on low wages or debt.
Jim Crow laws were state and local laws enforcing racial segregation in the southern United States, enacted after the Reconstruction period. These laws continued in force until 1965.
Jim Crow was the name of racist caste system which operated primarily but not exclusively in southern and border states between 1877 and the mid-1960s. Jim Crow was more than a series of rigid anti-black laws. Men carried the coffin of Jim Crow through the streets to protect racial states in the 20th century, but it had a special name in the South, Jim Crow. To bury Jim Crow by signing the Voting Rights Act of 1965 into law, the Voting Rights Act and its procedure.
Voting Rights Act of 1965 definition: a law passed at the time of the Civil Rights Movement. It eliminated various devices such as literacy tests that had traditionally been used to restrict voting by black people. Voting Rights Act of 1965 bans racial discrimination in voting practices by the federal government as well by state and local government, passed in 1965. Voting Rights Act, a federal law passed in 1965 that states that no voting qualification, prerequisite, or standard practice or procedure shall be imposed or implied by any state or political subdivision to deny, abridge the right of any citizen of the United States to vote because of race or color. Specifically proscribed by the law is use of intimidation. In 1973, the act was expanded to prohibit restrictions based on literacy or education.
The three Selma to Montgomery marches in 1965 were part of the voting rights movement underway in Selma, Alabama. By highlighting racist injustice in the South, they contributed to passage that year of the Voting Rights Act, a landmark federal achievement of the 1960s American Civil Rights Movement. Activists publicized the three protest marches and to walk the 54-mile, 87-kilometers highway to Selma and the Alabama state capital of Montgomery as showing desire of African American citizens to exercise their constitutional right to vote.